Hello. I was listening to a video today on YouTube about bugging out to public lands in some type of forced evacuation scenario. For me personally, bugging out to public land would be a bad idea, especially if you're the first one in. If you're the first one in, say to public lands, a park or something, and the roads or whatever, and it has a road, paths, whatever. Other people who are forced out to evacuate to that area are going to be jam-packed in there eventually. Because every Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to head there too. It's going to look like Woodstock. And your SHTF situation is going to be looking more like an explosive diarrhea. But and then the dumbass was talking about hunting cats and dogs to feed yourself. I mean, drinking the water out of if there's any streams or water sources. If there is any water on site, like a stream or a river or a pond, you're going to have to pre-filter it first, boil it or chemically disinfect it, and then after that process run it through a carbon filter to make sure it's absolutely safe first. And if you got any for pre-filtered material, I suggest it's using coffee filters or cheesecloth, because that's going to get out a lot of the junk out of there first, like the big particles and stuff. And then after you boil it or chemically treat it, which I suggest chemically treating with chlorine, because that's going to kill everything, and you're not going to have to use much fuel or energy to do that. And then like use a carbon block filter, something like a Brita filter or something, and or a zero water filter, because that's going to clean the water up really, really well. But for public lands, being a forced evacuation to it, I would avoid it. And whatever the forced evacuation zone is, I would go. If I have to use public lands, I would go really, really, really far outside the evacuation zone to make sure that there's not going to be looking like Woodstock, and I'm not going to be hunting cats and dogs and eating them just because it's easy prey. I would go somewhere where that easily accessible food sources are. I mean, like I said, I would go outside the evacuation zone. Unless it's a zombie apocalypse, I am staying right there in my home, because I mean, in my condition, people who have got a disability, we're not going to be able to go far. We're not going to be able to hoof it out there on the road and go live off the land. It's going to be too hard for us to do. I mean, just doing simple yard work around here, I mean, I'm having a difficult time right now. My back, I hurt that pretty bad. But and I wasn't really doing much. But for me personally, I would have to, sorry about that, battery went dead. But for me personally, I'm going to do whatever I can to stay home, because this is where I got everything I need. I mean, listening to that person, I mean, telling you to carry traction boards just in case you get stuck, come along, all saw, bolt cutters, just in case you came across a gate or something you need to break through. Now what is it? I mean, the guy went on a whole host of things to carry, but there are a whole lot of people out there who like to consider themselves a prepared citizen, but a lot of it's just I highly doubt some people like that. This individual. I mean, a lot of these YouTube preppers, they're not. They're just all they are is just a prepper on YouTube, and that's it. They're playing a character. They're not doing it for real life. But people like me, I mean, I'd like to have a lot of the things that he says that him or her, or all these people tell you to have. I mean, I don't got the money or the resources, so I got to make do with what I have. And bugging out, it's not an option because I don't got the money to afford it. But getting back to the subject of bugging out on public land during a forced evacuation, that's going to be a mess. It's going to be like Woodstock, and you don't want to be caught in a situation like that, especially if the government or whoever's telling you where to evacuate to. I mean, worst case scenario, it's going to be a mess, but optimally, hopefully, if there's a forced evacuation, it's going to be somewhat organized and somewhat civilized. But that's just hoping for the best. But for the thing going out hunting cats and dogs, and if someone approaches your camp, send your best talker out and have everybody else in sniper positions with the scopes targeted the people, lock down the people. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, some of these people on YouTube, they live in a fantasy land, and there's some of their scenarios are they're shitty. I mean, they're just really, really shitty scenarios. But like I said, even if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm staying put and keeping my head down and mouth shut and being as quiet as possible. So that's my thoughts on bugging out the public land. It's a bad idea, especially if the government's telling you to go there because everybody else is going to go there. And like I said, optimal conditions, optimally, it's going to be civilized and organized. Anymore, we see chaos and mayhem. So you're just going to have to play it by ear, and whatever the situation is, make your best informed decision. I don't know, I guess that's all I can say for now.